Hello my dear students, in this lecture we are going to understand design of VCR cycle. Now design of VCR cycle for any ton of refrigeration, let us say X ton of refrigeration. Now whenever it is said that X amount of ton of refrigeration, then we have to understand first what is the meaning of ton of refrigeration. Let us define 1 ton of refrigeration. It is also represented as 1 ton of refrigeration, TR, ton of refrigeration. Now the definition of 1 ton of refrigeration is that whenever mass is measured in pounds and temperature in Fahrenheit and time in second, then the definition becomes, it is defined as the amount of heat removed from 2000 pounds of water at 32 degree Fahrenheit to convert into ice at 32 degree Fahrenheit in 24 hours. Means here we have 200 pounds, mass is equal to 200 pounds of water. We have water first, water, which is at 32 degree Fahrenheit, and that water we have to convert into 32 degree Fahrenheit ice, and the time given is 24 hours. Then amount of heat required to be removed is called 1 ton of refrigeration. Now another definition of 1 ton of refrigeration in case of SI system, that is if mass is considered in kg, kilogram, then temperature in degree Celsius and time in second, then the SI in this SI system the definition becomes amount of heat removed from 1000 kg of water at 0 degree Celsius to convert into ice at 0 degree Celsius in 24 hours. That means the mass of water is 1000 kg. We have 1000 kg of water which is at 0 degree Celsius, and this water we have to convert into 0 degree Celsius ice, and the time given is 24 hours, in 24 hours. Then while doing this, the amount of heat required to be removed from the water is called 1 ton of refrigeration. And my dear students, this 1 ton of refrigeration, if I want to convert into kilowatt, then 1 ton of refrigeration is nothing but 3.517 kilowatt. Remember this, very much important for competitive exam point of view, right? 1 ton of refrigeration is nothing but 3.517 kilowatt. You might have heard about horsepower. Now 1 horsepower is nothing but 0.746 kilowatt. Similarly, 1 ton of refrigeration is nothing but 3.517 kilowatt. Now we will understand design of VCR cycle for design of VCR cycle or VCR system for X ton of refrigeration. X ton of refrigeration. So my dear students, X ton of refrigeration means net refrigerating effect is equal to X ton of refrigeration. And we know that 1 ton of refrigeration is nothing but 3.517 kilowatt. Therefore, the net refrigerating effect over here will be equal to 3.517 into X kilowatt. This is the net refrigerating effect required to be produced, right? And we have to design this VCR cycle. Now, we have seen VCR cycle on various planes. Here, we will see on TS diagram. Let us understand VCR cycle on TS diagram. Now, there are 3 VCR cycles, that is dry saturated VCR cycle, superheated VCR cycle, and wet VCR cycle, that already we have learned in previous lecture. If you have not seen my previous lecture, then go back and watch my previous lecture, then come here. So the first VCR cycle is dry saturated VCR cycle. Dry saturated VCR cycle. Dry saturated VCR cycle means compression starts at dry saturated vapor state. If I draw temperature versus entropy diagram, right? Now here there will be a liquid vapor dome, and the compression will start at dry saturated vapor state. And 1 to 2 is reversible adiabatic compression in compressor. 2 to 3 is constant pressure heat rejection in condenser. Therefore, here the process will be like this: 2 to 3 constant pressure heat rejection in condenser, and after condenser, the state of vapor is completely saturated liquid state. That is 3. 3 to 4 is throttling. 3 to 4 is throttling isenthalpic expansion, and 4 to 1 is constant pressure heat absorption in evaporator. Now here the X ton of refrigeration means net refrigerating effect is equal to 3.517 into X kilowatt. This is the net refrigerating effect. And net refrigerating effect is nothing but heat of evaporator. Therefore, from cycle 4 to 1 is a evaporator, and this heat is called net refrigerating effect. Therefore, here net refrigerating effect is equal to enthalpy difference H1 minus H4, but this enthalpy difference is in kilojoule per kg. And if I multiply with mass flow rate of refrigerant, the m dot r H1 minus H4, this will be in kilowatt, where this m dot r is kg per second, mass flow rate of refrigerant, that already we have learned in previous lecture, right? Now, therefore, we can say the heat of evaporator, which is nothing but net refrigerating effect, is nothing but mass flow rate of refrigerant H1 minus H4, which is nothing but 3.517 kilowatt into X, sorry, 3.517 into X kilowatt, right? This is called net refrigerating effect. And here the work of compressor is H1 minus sorry, H2 minus H1. Work of compression is 1 to 2 na. Therefore, work of compression is nothing but H2 minus H1. Condenser load, heat of condenser load is 2 to 3 is condenser, therefore H2 minus H3. H2 minus H3 is condenser load, right? And 3 to 4 is throttling process, that is constant enthalpy, that is S3 is equal to H4, that already we have learned, right? Now, my dear students, here our target is to find H1, H2, H3 and H4 values from the steam table, because steam table is provided to find all these values. So let us find these values from the steam table, and how to find that we will check, right? Now, first of all, for initial condition H1 value, now 4 to 1 is evaporator process, therefore it is pressure of evaporator pressure, which is lower pressure. And 2 to 3 is condenser, therefore 2 to 3 the pressure is condenser pressure, 2 to 3 pressure is condenser pressure, which is constant, and 4 to 1 evaporator pressure is constant. Now here at 1, at evaporator pressure, it is dry saturated vapor state, so we can find enthalpy S1, which is nothing but Sg at 1 at evaporator pressure. That means at evaporator pressure, we have to check Sg value. Sg value. Now, to find condition at 2, let us consider here there is 2 dash point. Here, let us say there is a 2 dash point, that is at condenser pressure, saturated vapor state point. Now, to find condition at 2, we have to see superheated steam table, and at condenser pressure we will get respective values. Now, let us find S2, entropy at 2. Now, entropy at 2 is definitely more than 2 dash. This S2 is given as S2 dash. Here, entropy at 2 dash plus 2 dash to 2 entropy, which is constant pressure process. Therefore, it is nothing but plus Cp of vapor, it is in vapor state, ln of T2 divided by T2 dash. That already you have learned in entropy topic, right? And my dear students, 1 to 2 is isentropic process, that is reversible adiabatic compression. Therefore, entropy is constant. Therefore, we can say S1 is equal to S2. Therefore, we can say Sg1 at evaporator pressure is equal to S2 is S2 dash. S2 dash is nothing but Sg2, which is nothing but Sg2 at condenser pressure plus Cp of vapor ln of T2 divided by T2 dash. Sg2 is at condenser pressure and Sg1 is at evaporator pressure, right? Now, once from this equation, whatever may be the unknown, you have to find. Now, again, this H1 enthalpy at 1 is nothing but Hg1, that is we have to check Hg value from steam table at evaporator pressure, right? And similarly, to find H2, this H2 is nothing but we can say H2 dash plus, it is definitely more than 2 dash and more by 2 dash to 2 process, right, which is constant pressure process. Therefore, plus Cp of vapor T2 minus T2 dash, enthalpy is Cp dt, entropy is Cp ln of T2 by T1, right, and enthalpy is Cp dt, right. Therefore, this H2 is nothing but H2 dash is nothing but it is Hg value at condenser pressure. Therefore, Hg at condenser pressure, that is 2 plus Cp of vapor T2 minus T2 dash. This is H2 value. Again, to find H3 value, let us find H3 value. My dear students, S3 is nothing but saturated liquid state at condenser pressure. Therefore, S3 is equal to HF3 at condenser pressure. At condenser pressure, right? Now, similarly, we know that S3 is equal to H4 because it is a throttling process 3 to 4. Therefore, H3 is equal to H4. This is how we can find enthalpies of all the points, right? H1 we have calculated Hg1, H2 also we have calculated Hg2 plus Cp of vapor T2 minus T2 dash. This is how we have calculated H2 also here written, right? So all the enthalpies are calculated. So let us find COP. Now here COP is nothing but COP, coefficient of performance, is nothing but net refrigerating effect divided by work of compression, which is nothing but net refrigerating effect is 4 to 1. Therefore H1 minus H4 divided by compressor is 1 to 2 divided by H2 minus H1. This is dry saturated VCR cycle. Now, if superheated VCR cycle is given, then let us understand design of superheated VCR cycle. Now, in case of superheated VCR cycle, if I draw temperature versus entropy diagram, then cycle becomes like this. There will be a liquid vapor dome, and compression starts in superheated state, that is 1 to 2 reversible adiabatic compression, 1 to 2 reversible adiabatic compression, 2 to 3 constant pressure heat rejection in condenser. Therefore constant pressure lines in vapor state are like this, and in liquid plus vapor state during constant pressure temperature also remains constant. Therefore 2 to 3 is constant pressure heat rejection in condenser. Now 3 to 4 it is throttling, 3 to 4 it is throttling, right? Here 3 to 4 throttling, that is isenthalpic process. 4 to 1 is again constant pressure heat absorption in evaporator. Therefore in liquid plus vapor dome during constant pressure temperature also constant, and in vapor state the constant pressure lines are like this, right? Therefore here 1 to 2 3 4, this is superheated VCR cycle. Now my dear students, again let us consider on dry saturated vapor state there is 1 dash, and for 2 there is 2 dash, right? These points let us consider here. Now there are 2 points. Now number 1, if superheating is done inside evaporator, means here 1 dash to 1, 1 dash to 1 is superheating, right? Therefore if superheating is done inside evaporator, right, superheating is done inside evaporator, then that means this 4 to 1 is evaporator. Therefore net refrigerating effect, which is nothing but heat of evaporator, is nothing but H1 minus H4, right? Now second is if superheating is done outside evaporator, superheating is done outside evaporator, right? Now that means superheating is done outside evaporator. Therefore here evaporator is up to 4 to 1 dash only. Therefore net refrigerating effect will be H1 dash minus H4. This is how we have to find net refrigerating effect. Now my dear students, 4 to 1 is constant pressure process. Therefore 1 dash to 1 is also constant pressure process, which is in vapor form. Therefore we can use ideal gas equations. Therefore 1 to 1 dash is constant pressure process. Therefore for constant pressure process volume is directly proportional to temperature. Therefore we can say V1 dash divided by V1 is equal to T1 dash divided by T1. This is how we can find whatever may be the unknown. Now 1 to 2 is reversible adiabatic compression, that is isentropic compression. Therefore we can say S1 is equal to S2, right? Now S1 is at evaporator pressure. This is the evaporator pressure. Evaporator pressure is constant from 4 to 1, and condenser pressure is constant from 2 to 3, right? Condenser pressure is constant from 2 to 3. Therefore this S1 is in superheated state. Therefore S1 will be S1 dash plus this much 1 dash to 1 entropy. Therefore which is nothing but S1 dash plus 1 dash to 1 is constant pressure process, and it is in vapor state. Therefore it is Cp of vapor ln of T1 divided by T1 dash, which is equal to, now S2, to find S2 it is S2 dash plus Cp of vapor T2 ln of T2 divided by T2 dash. Therefore it is S2 dash plus Cp of vapor ln of T2 divided by T2 dash. And my dear students, S1 dash is nothing but Sg1 at evaporator pressure. Therefore, S1 dash is Sg1 at evaporator pressure plus Cp of vapor ln of T1 divided by T1 dash. Now S2 dash in here diagram you can see S2 dash is Sg value at condenser pressure, therefore is equal to Sg2 at condenser pressure plus Cp of vapor ln of T2 divided by T2 dash. This is how we can find whatever may be the unknown parameter here, right? Now let us find enthalpies at various points. If I find enthalpies at various points, let us say to find H1, right? H1 will be equal to, we can say H1 is more than H1 dash, that is Hg at evaporator pressure, that is Hg1 at evaporator pressure plus from 1 dash to 1 this enthalpy we have to add Cp of vapor T1 minus T1 dash, and to find H2, H2 is definitely more than H2 dash, H2 dash is Hg at condenser pressure, therefore Hg2 plus it is more by 2 dash to 2 which is constant pressure process, therefore it is Cp of vapor T2 minus T2 dash. Now condition 3 is HF value at condenser pressure, therefore S3 is equal to HF at condenser pressure, HF3, and we know that S3 is equal to H4, right? From this we can calculate all the enthalpies, and we have calculated already net refrigerating effect from here, and work of compressor is nothing but H2 minus H1, therefore COP is equal to net refrigerating effect divided by work of compressor. Now let us understand the third type of VCR cycle, that is wet VCR cycle. Wet VCR cycle. Wet VCR cycle means compression starts in liquid plus vapor dome, right? Therefore, if I draw TS diagram, temperature versus entropy diagram, now the compression starts in wet region, that is 1, and 1 to 2 is reversible adiabatic compression. Let us say 1 to 2 reversible adiabatic compression. Now 2 to 3 it is constant pressure heat rejection in condenser. 3 to 4 it is throttling, and 4 to 1 constant pressure heat absorption in evaporator, right? Now arrow from 2 to 3, here arrow from 2 to 3 will be from 2 to 3. Now this is wet VCR cycle. So my dear students, at 1 as well as at 2 I am assuming liquid plus vapor dome. So at 1 there will be a specific volume. Specific volume at 1 will be equal to, it is as it is in liquid plus vapor dome, it will be Vf1 plus x1 Vg1 minus Vf1 at evaporator pressure. All the values we have to check. Vf1 and Vg1 we have to check at evaporator pressure. Evaporator pressure. Right. Similarly, we can find S1. S1 is nothing but from liquid plus vapor dome for SF1 plus X1 Sg1 minus SF1. Right. And all values we have to check at evaporator pressure. Then H1. H1 is equal to similarly HF1 plus X1 Hg1 minus Hf1, and all values you have to check at evaporator pressure, and x1 is quality at 1, that is dryness fraction at condition 1, right? Similarly at 2, we can find V2, which is nothing but Vf2 plus x2 Vg2 minus Vf2, where all the values we have to check at condenser pressure, because 2 to 3 is condenser pressure, right? Again S2 is nothing but SF2 plus X2 Sg2 minus SF2, right? Similarly H2 is equal to, H2 is HF2 plus X2 into Hg2 minus HF2, where X2 is quality at 2, that is dryness fraction at 2 is X2, and SF2, HF2, Vf2, Vg2, Sg2, Hg2, these all values we have to check at condenser pressure, right? Again S3 is nothing but HF3 at condenser pressure, right? S3 is HF3 at condenser pressure, and we know that S3 is equal to H4. We know that S3 is equal to H4. Therefore, COP is nothing but net refrigerating effect divided by work of compressor, and net refrigerating effect is 1 to 4, that is 4 to 1. Therefore, H1 minus H4, and compression is from 1 to 2 divided by H2 minus H1. Now this is how we can design whatever may be the VCR cycle. According to given condition, we have to check the steam table. And my dear students, all these calculations, that is for liquid plus vapor dome, all calculations already we have seen in properties of fluid chapter. So go back and watch my this topic, that is properties of fluid. Thank you dear students. In next lecture we will see volumetric efficiency for VCR cycle.